Today we're going to talk about something that has got the internet going crazy lately. And you've seen it everywhere being shown off like it's the latest luxury item, except it's just a water bottle. $50 for something to hold you water. I mean, for that price, I'd expect it to do more than just hydrate me. Maybe remind me to drink it, give me some life advice. And influencers are treating it like it's some kind of treasure, and suddenly everyone thinks they need one. Hey, this isn't the first time we've seen something so simple become the next big thing. I don't know if you still remember about the fidget spinners, the hoverboards. The Stanley is just another product that is blowing up right now. So why is everyone so obsessed with a $50 water bottle? Is it really worth the hype or just a trendy purchase? But before we dive deeper, let's look at the history of this brand together. So the Stanley brand isn't something new. It has been around since 1913, and it was first known for making hard thermoses that adventurers and workers can use to keep their water warm or cold. So back then, the Stanley was all about being practical, being tough, but not very stylish. But today, the Stanley has become a trendy accessory. People are using it for their morning smoothies, their iced lattes, and you see it all over Instagram. So how did this old brand suddenly become so cool? That's what we call a brand glow up. We've already seen it happen before with Birkenstocks that went from ugly shoes your aunt wears to must-have fashion. So now it's clear that the Stanley has become more than just a functional item. It's a symbol of something bigger. Sociologist Thorstein Veblen had a term for this: conspicuous consumption. Basically, it's when we buy things not because we need them, but because they show off our social status. And let's be honest, half of the people who are buying the Stanley water bottles aren't buying it because they're thirsty or they want to keep their water cold or warm for 10 hours or more, but they're doing it for the flex because they want to feel like they're part of a special club. And this isn't just about water bottles, actually. It's about how we consume in general. How often do we buy things because we truly need them, and how often do we buy them just because they make us feel a certain way? The thing is, when we start to define ourselves by the things we own, are we really improving our lives or just keeping up with the trends? And hey, no shame in that. We all want to be part of something cool, but when did we get to the point that even a water bottle of $50 is a status symbol? Just imagine trying to explain that to someone from the past and telling them, hey, I spent now $50 on a water bottle because Instagram told us to. Yeah, it sounds wild, but this is where we are. So how did this simple product become such a phenomenon? Did you know that 50% of adults in the US have bought something just because they saw it on social media? So half of the people are scrolling mindlessly through their feeds and they see something cool and then they're buying it without even thinking. And as you know, the Stanley water bottles are everywhere today. Like, you cannot scroll for 5 seconds without seeing someone sipping from it like it's the secret to living the best life. And influencers are making it like it's something so essential. And this is where social media gets tricky. It makes us feel like we're missing out if we don't buy the latest items. And when we see people we admire using those products, we suddenly start to think, if I get that thing, if I buy that thing, then I'll become like them. And this is why we need to learn how to make better choices. I actually use 3 kind of questions. First, I reflect on the need. I always ask myself, do I really need this new thing? Like, is it essential or is it just a desire? Second thing is to evaluate the value of the product. Will this really improve your life? And the third thing is to check your motivation. Like, why are you buying it? Is it because it's useful or because it's trendy? Whenever I ask myself those 3 questions and I'm doing shopping, I usually avoid buying on impulse. I make better choices and I don't fall for social media hype as well. Now, while we're questioning those purchases, it's also important to look at how we frame our choices based on sustainability. Because the Stanley water bottle have been marketed as eco-friendly, and I get it, reusable stuff is a great way for cutting down on waste. But there is something that's been on my mind lately. I've seen a lot of people buying these water bottles in every color, in every shape that they found. It seemed like we're missing the point of sustainability here. If we end up with a whole collection of these bottles, aren't we just replacing one form of waste with another? Instead of reducing consumption, we are adding more things to our life and thinking we're being eco-conscious. It's like if we're falling for this illusion that buying more stuff just because it's labeled as sustainable is actually doing more good to the planet. But in reality, if we're not careful, this can turn into green green consumerism, where we think we're doing good just by buying the latest eco-friendly products, but we are not really addressing the bigger issue, which is overconsumption. Because true sustainability isn't about accumulating and buying more stuff. It's about making smarter choices and reducing waste overall. So next time you're tempted by this newest green product, maybe you have to pause and think if you're actually contributing to sustainability or you're just adding more clutter. Okay, so where does this leave us? Well, I personally believe that the selling water bottle trend is about more than just hydration. It's a deep reflection about how we consume in general, how we portray ourselves, and how we prioritize things in our life. And I'm not saying that these trends are bad, like trends aren't necessarily a bad thing, but if we follow them without asking questions, we can lose sight of what truly matters to us. Because at the end, it's not about whether you are going to buy one or not. If it genuinely adds value to your life, if it helps you stay on track, then do it. But if not, then you have to ask yourself those questions. Because for me, really, the biggest goal is really to make mindful decisions that will enhance my life, whether it's through improving myself, making better connections, making mindful personal finance choices, or simply living with more intention. And I personally would love to know your own perspective about this topic. Is the Snelly water bottle a game changer for you, or is it just a passing trend? Let me know in the comments section. If you like this kind of videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more, and see you on my next video. Bye!